Alright, now on our way to this game. I just made it in time for the buffs to spawn. Actually, I didn't even have time to look at all the matchups. We got Jungle Master Yi, classic. All-time classic. Top lane Garen, mid lane Kassadin. Support Tito, actually, huh. Aphelios was Bard. Rumble top. Qiyana jungle. No, Qiyana mid, not jungle. Toby Maguire playing this game as well. And that is a Bard with Omnistone. Very interesting. Glacial Aquin just gets blocking the Lucian there. And Tito shows his face. And I got some water. That's some good water. Turns out yelling throws out your voice pretty quickly. Now we come back to this game. Some classic matchups all around. Garen Rumble. Lucian against Aphelios. I will actually give this lane to the Lucian. His all-in can catch... he's not very easy to burst on account of his kit and just the items that he usually builds. Aphelios typically finds it difficult to trade against him because Lucian dumps all of his damage much faster. Triple flash in sequence. The bear slap coming out from top lane. Tiger in. The tiger damage roll claim to kill. Rumble grass at first blood. Excellent gank by the Udyr. Meanwhile, mid lane, 3 flashes blown. Even the Master E. And he will go back to the jungle with nothing to his name. He is also quite low. So he's going to wait on that Scuttle spawn. Take the Scuttle Crab. And bot lane is quite pushed up, although I don't imagine that Master E can get a successful gank here. Qiyana is quite low, so Qiyana will need to find to back off immediately or just recall. Just do anything to survive. It's actually not a Corrupting Pot start, Qiyana, which does decrease her sustain immediately. But oh no, here's the gank on mid lane. Lucian tries to run away, but the Flamethrower finds the kill. However, Master E will be here to clean up. His first auto gets cancelled, and the potion heal not enough to keep him alive. The Bard double stun, chaining them in place, and he will run for the hills. But that's what I was saying. Qiyana didn't start Corrupting Pot, which Doran's shield is pretty damn useless against the Kassadin. He really doesn't care about that. And without Corrupting Pot, the ability for Qiyana to stay in lane is just significantly reduced. Which means that this lane is suddenly a lot harder to play. It's for a champion that needs to make really aggressive early on trades against the Kassadin. Not lacking the extra damage that the Corrupting Pot and the actual lane time that the Corrupting Pot can give you. It's going to be pretty hard to push back this Kassadin before he can come online. Kassadin doesn't really need to be level 16 to come online. He's not like a pre-change, post-rework KO, where you're not a champion until a certain level cap. As long as he has some critical items, namely like his tanky core in Rod of Ages and at least just an Archangel staff, when that comes online, he's already a sufficient damage threat to be able to roam around and get kills. Meanwhile, top lane, a massive wave being shoved into the Garen's tower. And this Garen is a bit too low. Perseverance is not strong enough of a regeneration this early on to keep him there. And he is definitely going to miss quite a bit of CS under this tower. He could get most of it, missing only about 1 or 2 if he plays it right. But we might never know. Now, red team setting up for a kill. The cannon shots are going down on Lucian. Relentless Pursuit gets him out of there. The mark was not popped, so there's not going to be a root. The Electrocute is now the Bard's next ruins. I believe a Meep auto plus a Q can get it, but it does time out because it wasn't expended. So he is going to cycle into a next Keystone pretty soon. Udyr has successfully snuck his way into Dragon Pit and is now attempting the level 4 Drake. He is quite healthy, albeit a little bit low on mana, but it shouldn't be a problem. That dragon is going down soon. In the meantime, Qiyana going for an aggressive trade. She's level 6, but there's no wall to push him onto. So that's going to be the end of that gank. Not gank, that's going to be the end of that trade. Drake does get claimed. Early Cloud Drake for red team. Quite beneficial for 10% extra CDR. And speaking of ultimates, Rumble has hit level 6, but the overheat will prevent the ultimate from coming down. And Garen, once again, just losing so many trades. He's finding it very difficult to walk up into the Rumble and actually start building Conqueror stacks. So he's just allowing wave after wave to hit his turret, which is fine. He likes it better this way. really. He will be able to kill Rumble in due time, but right now all he needs to do is stay patient and rack up some monies. Predator is now the keystone. The support Predator, he does immediately pop it, and now the Predator comes down hot on bot lane, bonus damage on the Teemo, knocking him back, and the cannon shots are coming out. Lucian does get hit once and gets rooted. He relentless pursues back and calls off the trades, calls off any further trades. But here comes the deadliest combo, Chakram Sniper. The most degenerate thing that makes Redditors cry at night. Cry at night. But will it actually be put into effect? Lucian is getting tossed around a little bit in this matchup. Just the Bard autos and the occasional cannon shots from the Glaive Tower. It's a little bit too much for him to hold. And now the 150 range advantage coming in hot for the Aphelios on the Sniper. Just constantly doing tiny chip damage. He's resorted to farming with his Q. He doesn't have enough mana for that. The minion will intercept the minion intercepts the Sniper Q, which definitely would have killed him if it landed. Very fortunate for him, but here comes a Master Yi for a gank. Equalizer is up. It is dropped, but a bit too far down. Highlander is coming out to get the Master Yi in, but then he'll immediately run away. Garen far too low to follow up. The Glaive Tower gets thrown a little bit too close to the tower and gets taken out immediately. Bardock gets dodged by the Lucian Yi, and now a very, very angry bear chasing down the Master Yi. Master Yi is level 6, but he already used Highlander, so he is not strong enough to beat up this Tiger. But here comes the reinforcements. Master Yi Alpha Strike gets him out safe. And meanwhile, Rumble, the Ignite does not kill him because Aaron flashes in thinking he killed the guy. Q immediately gets slowed down, but he does get enough movement speed to kill off the Rumble. Overall 2-for-0 trade coming out from multiple sides of the map. Now Teemo stealths behind. Just watches as these turret plates are being ripped away from under him. And the recalls are now coming out from bot lane. The Warhammer is picked up. The Aphelios is now 1,000 gold away from completing completing Essence Reaver. Meanwhile, Lucian also, he is quite a bit far away from Blade of the Rune King. Just 500 gold-ish behind in income. Quite depressing, but not game-ending. Now mid lane, it has been quiet for a very long period of time. But maybe to Kassadin's advantage, it is very quiet. All he really needs to do is make sure the Qiyana doesn't go high octane on him. And he will be fine. He is quite far away still from completing his Rod of Ages. In fact, he doesn't even have his Catalyst finished, opting to pick up a Blasting Wand instead, which is a decision I almost never agree with. Catalyst gives you so much laning power that is so much more preferable to the Blasting Wand's ability power input. 40 AP on Kassadin doesn't scale nearly as well as just the ability to regen more. It's all in the name of how long you can... Mid lane is all the name that... Let me try that sentence again. The name of the game for mid lane is always about how much you can stay in lane compared to your opponent. The more you can stay, the more you can shove, and the more you can roam. But the solo kill coming out on the bot lane, the 2v2 kill onto the Lucian. Bard will ditch his support and go for the Teemo kill. He is blinded. Flee forward, gets the extra energized damage. Bard claims the double kill, but Master Yi is in time. Master Yi is here in time to clean it up, making it a 2-for-2 overall. But critically, now the kills went onto the Lucian, as he did die first. He goes home and buys 3 daggers, hoping to shank someone on his way back to lane. Not enough to complete Recurve Bow, and not enough to complete Berserker Greaves. In a very precarious situation. Aphelios just 70 gold away from completing the Essence Reaver. However, in the top lane, Giant Sword dunked onto the Rumble. Kassadin roam, successful. Qiyana will respond. She will try to rip a few plates off this turret. It is the least you can do to salvage this top lane situation. But Bard has made his way down here. Master Yi has overstayed. Electrocute is the keystone, but there's not enough hits landed to actually make that happen. Meanwhile, top lane, very angry bear, still level 5 somehow, runs into the Garen. That is a 4, now 3 level advantage. Although Garen does not have his ultimate, that is a level 5 judgment. Udyr cannot possibly win that trade. So he turns tails and runs, allows Rumble to teleport back in time. Now, The Udyr just now hitting level 6. Once again, the lowest member on red team in terms of levels is the jungler. And Master Yi takes this opportunity to take away the second dragon of the game, giving way to the Mountain Rift of this game. Now, Qiyana makes her way back to the lane, stealthes, but immediately eats a load of damage from Kassadin. However, damage is coming out fast and strong. A shroom line is being built up to stop any gank from happening bot lane. There are no sweepers or pink wards on anybody in the bot lane side for red team. So these shrooms are going to stay uncontested, always a clear and present danger. And here comes the Garen. He wants to trade again. He has only a Sheen in the Merc treads, but that is enough to get him healthy enough to start applying Conqueror stacks. And Conqueror stacks is all he needs to win the trade against Rumble at this stage in the game. But now, the Teemo Shroom gets triggered quite far away, if I may add. That was a very far trigger radius. But the sniper finds its mark. The Crescendum gets added. Qiyana grabs double water to root the Kassadin, dashes in, probably not the correct way to dash. The stun misses, and now Kassadin gets free reign. Qiyana will try to flash away, but another Riftwalk will be coming up soon. He does not opt to take it. He will instead throw a Q that does not kill the Qiyana and walk away. Very precarious situation. And now Kassadin, once again, free to do as he pleases to this lane. Master Yi once again top lane, getting the successful gank. He is just more and more ahead in this game, and the Master Yi, being the extremely feast or famine, is very difficult to contain and stop once he does get going. And believe me, he is getting going. Blood Razor with recurve bow. The Bard does not find the stun. And the Aphelios tanks a few extra turret shots, evening out that trade. But that might be a little bit too late. Here's a teleport coming in. Aphelios steps on a mushroom. That mushroom poison is enough to kill him. Toby Maguire gets the kill from a million miles away. A counter TP coming down. Far too late. The fight is already over. Top lane, the tier 1 turret drops for red team. And this game has just gone downhill very quickly for red team. Udyr doing his Krugs, trying to secure as many levels as he can, but since we last checked in from him, he's only leveled up once. And definitely the task of an Udyr to become the skirmishing and bruiser threat that he is the onus is definitely now up to him. The warrior item is not even complete, which means that in terms of combat, he pretty much just gets outdueled by anybody in this game right now. Even if the Lucian stood still, he could probably still beat him in the fight. But here comes the Garen. He gets stunned. He gets shoved into the wall. 2 stuns coming out in very quick succession. But that is the remaining of their CC. They have no more left. A Kassadin comes in. A single Riftwalk takes up 2 kills. The Equalizer barely dissuades blue team from continuing the kill train. And that is going to be 2 more bodies dropped onto the ground. What is the hope for red team? Is there a lane that's ahead enough to sustain the damage? But no, the all-in comes in from Lucian, chunking Aphelios hard. Bard flashes in for the Ignite. The Ignite tick might be enough to kill the Teemo, but no, the last tick is not enough. The Moonlight Vigil does not tag the Teemo in time, and it barely misses the Lucian. There will be no follow-up damage. Rumble has gone mid against the Kassadin, but they're both level 11. Rumble is probably the most fed member on red team so far, but they cannot really stand up to the wrath of the blue team. Here comes the Master E. Alpha Strike barely gets dissuaded. What was that? Auto attack! What? Wow. His sword was just like reaching across the 4th dimension of the Aphelios there. The cannon shot barely does his work, and Master E picks up his 5th kill. Still unkilled this game. Qiyana makes some valiant trades against the Kassadin, but far too behind to actually put a dent into him. Rod of Ages is stacking up. He does have a solid chunk of health, far beyond now Qiyana's possible assassination range. So now Qiyana must look for other targets they can kill. Bard makes his way into the tunnel with Dawn Health. There will be no follow. And he barely escapes by the skin of his teeth. And in a cruel twist of fate, he has the highest number of kills on red team at the present moment. Ocean Drake respawning right about now. And blue team holding a solid, sizable lead. They're going to go ahead and pick it up now. With very little way to contest. There's a lonely pink ward from red team sitting out in the pixel brush on Dragon Pit. But not enough. Not enough vision, not enough information to play with at this point in the game. All of their tier 1 towers have fallen. The map is gradually shrinking for them more and more. Some very inopportune ganks. Some very undecisive calls. And they just allow the skirmishing threats on blue team to roam and get far too out of hand, far too early. And now this map is blue teams to play with. They have so much damage threat on their team. The Moonlight Vigil applies the pistol. That is not the correct weapon to be applying. The wall stun comes around but hits nobody. The Udyr running around, not sure where to go. He will run face first into a barrel of a gun. And he gets shot down by the Lucian. Popping the turtle stance, saves him for a brief second. Master E Alpha Strike takes down one more. And meanwhile, support Teemo kills off the Aphelios. It is just the bar support left. He gets a stun on the Master E against the wall. The one more tower shot will not actually take down the Master E. The Meditate saves him. Kassadin will now have to fly away. The last turret shot does not find his mark. And that is the 17-minute, 50-second surrender coming out from that team. Nothing going their way this game.